Once upon a time, we grew up in a house full of safety, but the secrets within that house were ready to confront us years later.
A child is about to learn the true face of the ghost, but that face carries the curse of the past. You can never be free unless you confront the past.
My brother and I grew up creating the most beautiful memories in a charming little farmhouse. The moment we stepped through that door, we felt like we had entered another world. But years later, when I learned the secrets of that house, a deep fear settled within me. The things we experienced there were overshadowed by the terrifying story of a ghost we thought was protecting us. As kids, moving into that farmhouse brought us joy with its expansive green fields and forgotten treasures hidden among its old belongings. Our father had a job that required us to stay there for 7 to 8 months, but it felt like a dream. My brother and I spent our days exploring the house, playing games and getting lost in our imaginations. The best part of that house was the ghost that seemed to watch over us. We named her Mother because of her kindness and nurturing nature. Every morning when we woke up, we found a glass of milk waiting on our nightstands. We convinced ourselves that this was a gift from Mother. Those mornings were filled with innocent happiness. One day, while playing in the yard, we saw Mother sitting in the old chair in the living room. The chair moved slightly, as if she were watching us play. It was a magical moment, and we cherished her presence, believing she was our guardian. Mother was always there, sitting in the living room, observing us while we played or watched TV. Sometimes she would even pull the chair into the middle of the room, enhancing our feeling of security. However, over time, that comfort began to feel strange. Years passed, and one day I stumbled upon an old newspaper featuring a photo of the farmhouse. I couldn't believe my eyes. I started reading the article, and as I did, a chill ran down my spine. It detailed how a widowed woman had poisoned her 2 children's milk and then hanged herself in the living room. The moment I saw the photo, I realized that the chair she stood on to take her life was the same chair we used to see her sitting in while we played. I had believed that the mother we thought we knew was a benevolent spirit, but now I understood that she was a woman burdened by a dark past. Each memory of our time in that house transformed into a disturbing nightmare. The safety I once felt turned into profound fear. The glasses of milk left for us became haunting reminders of a tragic story. Every cherished moment turned sinister as the past's shadows crept into my memories. Over time, I realized that the comfort we had found was merely a veil over a horrifying truth. I began to remember every detail of the time we spent in that house. Perhaps Mother's presence was meant to protect our childhood innocence. But now, even contemplating this made my heart ache. Behind every friendly smile lay a disturbing reality that we had been blind to. One night, as I passed by the old farmhouse, a deep unease settled in my chest. The lights in the windows flickered, as if inviting me in, yet I knew there was no one home. My heart raced as I thought I could hear her whispering, urging me to confront the past. I opened the newspaper again and read the story of that woman. The trauma she had endured resonated with me, connecting our experiences. Understanding her story allowed me to acknowledge my own fears. In that moment, I felt the weight of my childhood fears lifting. I realized that the ghost I once viewed as a protector was, in fact, a reflection of my own unresolved issues. Coming to terms with that fact was liberating, even as it was horrifying. After all that I had experienced, I finally confronted my fears. The memories of the farmhouse transformed. Instead of torment, they became lessons. The woman's tragic tale no longer haunted me. Instead, it guided me. Now, I could view the farmhouse's memories through a different lens. I saw Mother not as a malevolent spirit, but as a reminder of the importance of addressing the past. Through understanding her story, I found peace with my own, allowing me to live freely in the present.